That's right, baby. It's time for movie trailer trash. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to Movie Trailer Trash. We just watched the trailer for BlacKkKlansman, or is it BlacKkKlansman?
It's just BlacKkKlansman.
Okay. Because it's spelled out on all of the stuff as...
With 3 Ks.
With 3 Ks, because it's clever, because it's Spike Lee, and he does clever things.
Well, I mean, it's not
with
super
words.
clever. It's pretty clear. It's Black with a K and Klansman with a K, and there's a little K in between.
Well, anyway, my name's Charlie.
And I'm Bethany.
And we are the Movie Trailer Trash Podcast. Sorry.
We are Movie Trailer Trash, and we just watched BlacKkKlansman. Let's get down to business.
Right off the bat. So, the most newsworthy thing about this movie is that it's a Spike Lee joint.
What? Why do you keep saying that? Is that actually how he says it?
He puts that on all of his movies.
He doesn't say Spike Lee production, a Spike Lee joint?
Instead of directed by Spike Lee or written by Spike Lee, he says a Spike Lee joint. It's kind of his thing.
Why? It's so weird.
It's his thing. He started in the 80s and, you know.
Yeah, because it
like
doesn't even make sense, like, grammatically to me right now. Maybe it did back then.
A Spike Lee joint?
Yeah, like joint production or...
No, it's like a joint. It's like a thing. Yeah,
yeah
it's just the whitest people of all time trying to figure this out.
I'm
like
just saying, it's
30 years later from when it was the actual.
That's what I'm saying. It's not how we talk. It's like earlier today, I heard somebody say something about a cyber cafe, and then someone else was like, "Oh wow, cyber. That's an old word. That's a word you don't hear anymore."
That is an old word.
So
I don't
anyway,
even think about that.
A Spike Lee joint. Okay?
So Spike Lee, pretty divisive, I guess, amongst people.
Okay, I don't know anything about him. Why don't you enlighten me?
A lot of people. He's very unique as a director in most things that he does. He's also he's known for doing a lot of movies about race and racial relations and all that type of stuff.
Okay.
And so that could be very divisive. He did one of his more famous movies was a biography of Malcolm X. Where
he did the Malcolm X one?
Yeah, where Denzel Washington plays Malcolm X.
And this kid's in that. Well, sorry, it's not a kid. He's a grown man.
He was a kid at the time and still is Denzel Washington's kid.
Actual son?
Yes.
That's crazy. Because that's the thing. So usually, for those of you who are new listeners, usually Charlie does all of our little research. And then I just bring all my beautiful opinions and thoughts to the podcast.
Okay. Which is why we're so often wrong in the things that we say.
Because nobody's double checking you.
Nope.
It's all you. But
you
here's
could just
the
be
thing.
writing down lies.
I was looking into this guy. Do you remember his name? I did remember it was something Washington. But
J.D. Washington.
Okay. So
John David, I think.
So he, on IMDb, has only 8 acting credits, one of which is this.
Would you like to know why?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
Because
he seems good.
He was an actor when he was younger, when he was in Malcolm X, when he was a kid. And he didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps, and so he went.
Yeah, who would want to follow in that guy's footsteps? Am I right?
Focused on football.
Oh, okay, great.
And he
Much better.
He played
Brain
collegiate
damage.
football. He got drafted by the St. Louis Rams.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Another great thing to be proud of.
Well, yeah, I guess the Rams are bad.
Bad choices all around, man. Stick with acting.
Well, they're really good now, though. Now that they moved.
But stick with acting.
And so he got drafted by the Rams, and then he went to some like semi-professional league, and now he's came back and immediately was given this job because Spike Lee loves Denzel Washington, and he has casted him in like 4 or 5 of his movies.
Well, and I mean, he's worked with this guy before.
Kind of.
Well, how young was he when he was in it?
I mean, that movie came out in like the early 90s, I think.
So he was probably young.
Let me check.
Like 10. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. That's interesting to know because I was going to say I was so surprised that he only had 8 acting credits. 8 acting credits. And that's usually anybody on IMDb has a ton of them because you put it on that you get credits for if you're just an extra in something, if you're just barely in something. But he really has only been in 8 things.
Yeah, and so that's Denzel Washington's son.
But he looks like he's going to be a good actor.
Now that you know that, if you go and watch the trailer again, you can totally tell.
Well, yeah, when you said it, I was like, oh, yeah, I could see it. It's weird.
Even when he does the thing where he whenever he says white, he says white. He like says it like really...
With the right white guy.
With the right white man.
We can do anything.
And even with that, you can kind of tell that it's very
well, that's
Denzel-y,
interesting.
which I'm sure this whole conversation was what he was trying to avoid when he put all of his whatever into football.
Yeah, and you know what? It doesn't matter though, because if you're great, you're great. It doesn't matter. Like, I know that there are tons of actors and actresses that had great actors and actresses for parents, but I never make the connection. Like, I don't care that Jon Voight is Angelina Jolie's dad.
But when she first started, everyone was like, look how much like Jon Voight she is.
I don't care that Carrie Fisher was Debbie Reynolds' daughter. Carrie Fisher stood on her own. It didn't matter.
She was pretty good at standing.
I never knew. It didn't bother me, you know? And so I guess the thing is, I get it. You don't want to just be like your dad. But I guess when you're born into a family like that, you have an opportunity that nobody else has. You're basically won the lottery just by being born into that family, that you can be an actor if you want.
You know, what people do say that about, though, is Jaden Smith.
What? But that's only because...
He'll never escape the shadow of the Fresh Prince.
No, I don't think that's true. I think he was great as a little kid, and then he got weird as he got older, and then his dad put him in a bad movie, and that tanked his opportunities.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think he has the capability of being better. But the point is, I'm just saying... This
isn't about Will Smith.
Hang on. But yeah, what I'm saying is... You won the genetic lottery. You were born into a family where you could go and be a star if you want, just based on your name. People will give you a chance. It doesn't matter. Like, you will get a chance because you're Denzel Washington's son or whatever, Jon Voight's daughter, whatever. You know, Drew Barrymore, she's somebody's daughter.
Robert Downey's son.
What? Okay. Anyway, but the point is, I get not wanting to just do what your parents do and stuff, but it's kind of like, if you're good at it and or enjoy it at all, then take advantage of it, because there are pretty much anyone else who's either not extremely wealthy or born into an already famous family. Their chances are so unlikely that they'll ever make it anywhere, no matter how hard they try, no matter how good they are.
Yes.
So
this has been a public service announcement.
Soapbox.
From Bethany.
I'm off. Stepping down.
So yeah.
This guy looks good. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, this is a Spike Lee joint. This is based off of a real story and a book written by the real life detective who is the main character of this movie, Ron something.
So is the book based on a true story in any way?
Yeah,
loosely based.
It's his story. It's
real. It's based on a true story.
Yeah,
that's amazing. I thought it was a ridiculous fiction movie.
It's written by that guy, the main character of this movie.
I just thought maybe that guy, I thought maybe he was just a detective.
The same name that I can't remember.
I just thought maybe he was just a detective. I didn't think that he actually did this. That's cool.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
I thought it was like a Django Unchained type of thing.
Knowing Spike Lee.
Revisionist history.
He'll probably change a decent amount of it.
Sure, why not?
For, because he does things that are really over
value.
the top. So the one of the Spike Lee movies that I've seen one of the older ones, but it was a very long time ago. I've seen some clips and stuff from Malcolm X and other things, but one of the only ones that I've seen in full is Chirac. We watched that together.
Oh, wow, we watched that. Bad movie.
And
I'm comfortable saying that.
I mean, yes.
Terrible movie.
But also extremely unique.
Yeah, I wanted it to be good. I mean, for the first 20, 30 minutes even, I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a chance. Like, it was weird, but I was like, okay, get into it. You just got to shift your mind focus. Okay, it's a musical. You didn't know it was going to be a musical the whole time. That's fine. Shift your brain.
I mean, it's not a musical. They just are rhyming the whole time.
No, they're like sing-talking, too. It's weird.
Sometimes.
It's weird.
It's like, it's
weird.
Yeah, it's supposed to,
and not
it's supposed
very
to
good.
be,
They're singing the whole time, and it's weird.
Culture stuff.
And anyway, the story, it had some potential. But the idea was there's a lot of violence in this community, gun violence, in a mostly black neighborhood. And what?
It got out of hand. I was just remembering the end of the movie.
Okay, yeah, so that's what I was going to say. So the idea behind Chirac is that the women decide that, like, how are we going to stop these are our boyfriends, our husbands, our fiancés, our brothers that are joining these gangs and starting this violence, and how can we get them to step away from that life? And their solution was, let's stop having sex with them until they put down their guns.
Yeah, and it all got...
So that was already weird, but I'm like, I'm going with it. I'm just going because I thought it was interesting the way that they showed the inner city, the way that they were trying to show the culture and how difficult it is to live there and be stuck there. And okay with that.
And the main
and
actress was good also.
Yeah. And then also, what's his name? John Cusack had a weird, cool role as a preacher, and it was unexpected, and he was cool. But the music was terrible, and by the end, it was just like a terrible, weird, like it all came down to a sex scene, and
it was a sex off.
Yeah, they were like, ooh, it was awful. You guys, so bad. I wish it wasn't.
Anyway, so what's becoming a recurring theme on this show is that we describe an entire plot of another movie before we describe what's happening in this movie.
Only if it's worth talking about. But hey, so is there any other Spike Lee movie that I might have seen?
She's Gotta Have It.
Never heard of it.
That was one of his first ones, and it was a relationships movie. It was a comedy. And one of the interesting things about it was made for $175,000. Cool. And it made $7 million.
Wow.
So
good return.
Good job, Spike.
Okay, so it's safe to say Chirac's probably the only one I've ever seen then.
Probably. And you've probably seen bits and pieces of the Malcolm X movie.
Maybe. I don't know if I have.
Probably.
I've seen Freedom Riders.
But
No.
So this movie,
The Great Debaters, my bad.
This is a black detective in the 1970s who is trying to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan so that he can, find some reason to actually arrest them.
A legitimate reason, yeah.
And because he
other than they're awful.
He obviously knows what they are and the fact that and what they do, but no one has been able to prove it or maybe doesn't want to.
Yeah. Well, they wear the masks all the time when they're doing their violent crimes. They have a code and a system. They're not going to tell on each other. So the only way to know who they are that's doing these violent crimes is to be one of them.
And so he starts his investigation over the phone using his white voice, which is always funny when a black comedian does that. And then they send in one of the other detectives, Adam Driver, who plays a Jewish detective who goes in undercover and meets with them in person. And they create one.
They're both the same.
They create one
character.
person.
It's a character.
Ron Stallworth. That's what it is. That's his name. And
so he's the voice on the phone. His friend or his partner is the guy playing the face of the person.
Right. And they're gonna, they're gonna get
together.
In arguments and stuff. But he's Jewish. Adam Driver's character is Jewish. J.D. Washington's character is black, and they're gonna have all of that back and forth going on.
He tells J.D. Washington's character that, look, this is like, you're passionate about this, but it's just a job for me. And so,
and then he's like,
you
should be passionate about it too.
Yeah, he's like, why are you acting like you don't have a dog in this fight? You should hate these people too. But the interesting thing I thought about the trailer was that it very quickly. It's shifted to not just being about him and the detective doing their thing, and it was showing him dating some sort of woman, dating a woman who is a part of some sort of group.
That woman
of Black
is
Power. I don't know
if that was her, but one of the top billed actresses is Liz from Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Liz?
The love interest.
Oh, okay.
Throughout the whole thing.
Okay, I was thinking Mary Jane, and I was like, I didn't see her in there. Okay.
No, it wasn't Zendaya.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Also, Alec Baldwin is cast in this.
Huh.
But I didn't see him in the trailer.
Yeah, me
so that might be a fun
so
surprise.
He might be. Who knows which side he'll be on?
Yeah.
But there was a scene in the trailer where it was a group of black people at some sort of rally yelling Black Power. Actually, they said, Black Power. And then the KKK was yelling White Power at a different rally. It was just like contrasting the two groups very clearly. So I thought that was interesting to see how that goes down if he's like actively a part of this other group, but then he's also trying to do his undercover thing. And I don't know. So be interesting.
Yeah. What I was saying earlier, there's a lot of people that don't really like Spike Lee because he's a little over the top storytelling wise.
Yeah. I mean, if it's anything like Chirac, then I won't like it.
He tries to be unique and,
that's true.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Artistic?
I'm not divisive, but he wants to make a statement.
Yeah.
He wants to make a statement to be unique and to be artistic, like you said, and he wants to do all of those things, and that is polarizing.
Does it worry you that maybe he's going to try and compare the Black Power group to the White Power group as if it's similarly bad?
No, I just think
that would concern me if that's what he's trying to do.
The thing that I'm concerned about is that it going off the rails at the end. Because
just
I don't
general, like
I don't
story?
know if the real story has a satisfying ending, and I don't know if he'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Well, at the very least I can say this, I think it's an interesting concept and an interesting story to tell. And it's really cool that it is based on a true story. I had no idea.
Yeah, and kind of want to read the book now also.
Well, and the first time I heard about this, I was like, this has to be a joke because, of course, Dave Chappelle has his whole blind Klansman joke where he is a black Klansman because he doesn't know he's black. And I don't know how that happened, but it's just a joke. It's just a funny little skit. So when I heard that there was a movie called BlacKkKlansman, I was like, what? But it definitely looks a little more serious than I thought.
I wouldn't be surprised if Dave Chappelle read this book.
Probably. One thing is Adam Driver's in it, who's also an awesome actor. And I think Denzel Washington's son's going to be a great actor. I think their dynamic's going to be really good together. And it's almost like they're...
And Topher Grace plays David Duke, which is
It's almost
hilarious.
like they're frenemy cops. Like, not quite buddy cops, but like they probably...
But they also don't hate each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Which is interesting. That's why I always laugh at the part...
a cool relationship.
I always laugh at the part in the trailer where they're like getting ready. They're like going over the plan or something, and the J.D. Washington is saying whatever, and Adam Driver is just like, oh, I don't really know. When was the last time we let a rookie detective lead an investigation? Oh, yeah, that's right. Never. And J.D. Washington just kind of goes, yeah, so anyway. And then he just like continues on. It's not like
anyway,
a big...
so what we're going to do is...
It's not like a big argument.
Yeah, and he doesn't take it too personally. He's just like, yeah, whatever. Who cares? So let's get down to
And I hope
this.
that it's like that in the movie. I hope that's not cut up.
I think Adam Driver is a really good actor.
I do too.
And I've only seen him in two things that I can think of.
They're both Star Wars movies.
No. Okay, I mean, no. Two different things. So Star Wars is one thing.
Logan Lucky.
Yes. He's so good in that. That's what made me realize he was a good actor because I liked him in Star Wars.
You never saw him in Girls? I think that's where he started.
I never saw that. But I don't.
What about
that? I didn't, and I won't watch
that truck
Girls.
commercial.
Yeah, I think I saw him in that.
Was that truck or jeans? They're the same commercials.
But no, here's the thing.
Selling trucks and selling jeans are the same thing.
When he was in Star Wars The Force Awakens, I was like, his character's annoying, so I can't really tell if he's a good actor or if he's just whatever.
From the very first
Star Wars
time that
The Last Jedi, I was like, this guy's awesome.
From the very first time I saw Force Awakens, I the entire time thought that he was the best part of the new
Not
generation.
The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
The Last Jedi, though, he's great.
Mm-hmm.
He's annoying in The Force Awakens. He's
the best character
whiny
that
Luke
they
Skywalker-y.
created.
Well, yeah, he's the most developed.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
But I mean, in fairness, he's the only character who knows his own backstory. The other people were taken from their parents
he's
when
whiny.
Children.
People are whiny sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not saying he was bad. I'm saying
I'm not
character
yelling at
annoyed
you.
me.
I'm yelling at everyone. You can tell that because I'm looking off into the distance beyond you. But our listeners need to know that I'm yelling at them.
No. No, all I'm saying is, okay, so he was fine. He was fine in Star Wars. Then I saw Logan Lucky, and I was just like, this guy's awesome because he was so different.
Yeah,
and anytime
they
I
made
see
him cut off his arm for that point.
No, stop it. Anytime I see an actor who's so different from one movie to another, that's what really impresses me because, like,
Tom Hardy.
If you're who's an actor who always plays the same role that is still good though?
Oh, that is still good?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, let's just say Tom Cruise. I wouldn't say he's
Tom
the best,
Cruise.
but he plays like kind of a
Matthew McConaughey,
himself kind of character.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, and they're still great actors, right?
Brad Pitt is a good example.
Sure, and they're but not always, but yeah, most of the time.
Just that one movie.
So they're still good actors, even though they mostly play the same character. But when you can play two very different characters, that's what really impresses me. So Elizabeth Olsen was in Ingrid Goes West the same year that she was in Wind River. Just the most complete opposite character you could possibly play, and we saw them maybe a month apart.
Yeah,
I was amazed. I will forever.
And then we also saw Avengers pretty quickly
be a fan
after
of
that.
Elizabeth Olsen because of that. Because I was like, yeah, she's cool in Avengers, but now I'm like, oh, now I know that she is dang good at her job, and that's how I feel about Adam Driver. So,
and also
there you go.
Know that she can do a Russian accent, but I think they purposely told her to tone it down each time.
You think so?
Yeah, because it does happen. She loses it more and more every time she's in a movie, and I think it's because they don't want it to be too like cartoony, which it kind of was in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, like Natasha and Boris Badenoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want her to sound like Natasha from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go into the next segment, shall we?
What is that next segment?
Where, when, and how are you going to see this movie?
Okay. Where, when, how are you going to see this movie? All right, where, when, and how you're going to see this movie. I haven't really thought about this one very much.
Well, that's a shame because we're at that segment.
I was
so
thinking about the other stuff. Do you know?
Yeah, I think so. So I want to see this movie. So let's just start there.
Okay.
I
So
am gonna see this movie.
That doesn't answer any of the questions.
Hang on, but I am gonna see this movie. One thing you can say for when, where, and how is not at all, nowhere, never.
Oh, yeah.
So it does answer the question. So
nowhere.
I want to see this movie. I'm nervous because if Chirac is the only thing I have to go off of, that makes me nervous. But I love the concept. I like that it's a unique story being told. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of that, of not telling the same stories over and over again. So I could see going to the theater to see it. But if I did, I would probably use my movie pass and do it on like a matinee just because I'm not going to rush to the theater to see it.
Whoa. Whoops. All right. This movie comes out in August 10th.
Ooh, hot.
Hot.
Hot here in Missouri.
So yeah. If you're in Missouri or California, you know that you can't really go outside.
I like how you just us or California.
Well, I know that's the big one.
Or many other places.
In LA, it's like 140 degrees there.
Yeah,
right?
They're the ones who really can't go outside.
Yeah, you'll melt to the sidewalk.
Good luck, guys.
Oh God. You have to wear
Godspeed to you.
You have to wear concrete shoes.
That doesn't make any sense.
So they don't melt.
No, go on.
Smelt.
So you're saying it's hot.
Oh, so it's hot, so there's not a lot to do.
Yeah, theater's a nice, cool activity.
This would be a good one to see in theater. I don't think seeing it in theater would add anything to it. So like I think that you could also rent it and have just as good of a time.
Get a Slurpee.
Okay. So I'm going to say rent or theater.
Yeah. I could definitely see chilling and just wait until it comes out streaming. But
especially
I do think
because
it might be good.
Mission Impossible is coming out soon.
Yeah.
And
that's going to be theater.
In a few weeks. And that's you got to
see it in the theater.
You got to see that in the
theater.
For
those of you who missed our Mission Impossible episode, we both think theater.
You got to.
Yeah. You can't watch on a little screen him doing all his stunts.
But yeah, I think that this one will be good either way.
I think it'll be good enough to watch.
Might end up renting it just because I might forget about it, but
yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on in coming months.
And so if you could see it in the theater, but I don't think that you need to see it in like the big, thing on opening night and whatever.
I don't think the big screen and the good sound is going to make that much of a difference to the storyline. I think there are certain movies, action movies especially, or movies that are extremely beautiful or something like Under the Ocean.
What's the point of seeing Mission Impossible not in the theater?
Yeah.
Have you ever watched a Mission Impossible movie not in the theater?
Yeah, absolutely. I like those movies a lot.
I think only the third one.
No, I've watched them all at least twice probably.
No, you have not.
Yeah, maybe not the first one. Okay, I lied about the first one.
Or the second one.
Yeah, probably. When I was younger. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Let's move on.
Why?
To the Rotten Tomatoes scores.
But we have so much to say about this.
About what we just said and is finished?
Yep. Rotten Tomatoes percentages.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Taking it right from my mouth.
I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 74%.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just going to shoot for the middle.
Shoot for the middle.
Because I think, honestly, that's about what Chirac got.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think it did. I think it got pretty low.
Let's go to the phones.
Pretty low, fairly low.
Go to the phones.
But definitely higher than it should have, I believe. Because I don't think you and I would have seen Chirac if it didn't get at least some good reviews.
Maybe.
It's so
I don't
weird.
know. It was during a time where Amazon Prime was really pushing stuff.
Well, I had heard about it, and I was like, that's interesting concept. So that's...
And also I'm from... Well, not there.
You're from Chirac?
I'm from the Chicagoland area.
You're from the south side of Chicago?
I'm from the south side of Chicago. No, I'm not.
You're not.
It got an 81%
from Chicago. Okay, so
from
there you go.
the critics and a 50% from audience.
And that's what I'm going to say for this one. So I'm saying 74%, and I'm saying 64% from audience.
This one doesn't seem...
It seems more normal, but
experimental.
I'm afraid.
I'm worried that the parts, after the whole plan goes into motion and... So, yeah, between the plan going into motion and the ending, that part in the middle, I think, is going to be very dull.
Here's the thing I will say about Chirac, is that it really dragged. Like, there was parts at the beginning that I was super into. Like, okay, I can get into this.
Samuel Jackson in his orange suit.
I was like, I forgot all about that. That's hilarious. Yeah, there were some really interesting parts. I definitely don't want to hate on it too much because, like, there was some, like, scary violence moments where I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? But... it really started to drag in the middle. It's like an experimental play, where
and he
starts off, you're like, this is interesting, and then it gets too weird, and nobody reined them in at all. It's like, no.
He has a
too
ton
abstract.
Of good stuff to say
Far
about
too abstract.
Race and society
and
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate that it was too abstract and complex to really enjoy.
He gets a little extreme sometimes.
But yeah, I don't know.
But,
I'm shocked that the critics gave it 80-something%. That shocks me.
81.
I would have given it 73%, and that was me being generous. So I'm giving this one 74. Now your turn. Go.
I'm going to say the critics are going to give this a 77, but that the audience is going to give it an 83.
Well, that would be just delightful, and I would be, happily surprised.
I think that this one is going to, that people are going to like this one more. I think it looks...
maybe a little
funny.
more mainstream.
I think that it looks mostly like a comedy to me, and then there's going to be some horrible stuff that happens in between.
But like a light comedy, you know what I mean? Like not a full-on laugh out loud comedy.
Yeah, I guess.
It doesn't look like a laugh out loud comedy. It looked like it was like
I was
clever.
confused by that because it looks like a dark comedy.
Well, yeah, but I mean like light on the comedy.
Light on the comedy. Easy on the comedy.
More of a story with a little bit of humor.
Comedy on the side.
Sprinkled in.
Oh, sprinkled.
In.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I hope it is good. I definitely think it's at least worth a try. One thing I wanted to say before we get going here is for those of you who are new, thank you for listening. For those of you who are returning listeners, hello again.
Hi.
We took a little bit of a hiatus because we were on vacation. Woo woo.
Island life.
But we're happy to be back and talking to you guys. And we've been preparing for our first movie trivia night.
Yep.
In Kansas City. So if you live in the Kansas City area, check out our Facebook page, Movie Trailer Trash Podcast, and you can get some deets there.
Yeah, and it's also on it's on Twitter.
Every other platform as well, yes.
And Instagram as well. But yeah, it's going to be on July 17th in Kansas City at Screenland at Tapcade.
Yep.
In the Crossroads. So if you are around, go to it. It'll be fun. You'll get quizzed.
Look us up, and guess what? You'll get to put a face to the voices, and I know that's what you're all dying for.
Yeah, they're going to be
so excited.
So upset.
Oh. Anyway, I think you guys will have a great time. I hope you join us. It's going to be all movie trivia from movies from the 80s to today.
I'm going to wear a brightly colored shirt.
I'll probably wear a movie shirt.
No.
I don't know why we're telling them what we're going to wear.
Let's
leave some of it to the imagination to surprise.
All right, I won't tell them what kind of pants I'm going to
wear. Anyway, we're excited about that. We're excited about getting back into just the podcast game because we have been gone a little while. But summers get crazy sometimes.
And hot.
Sunburnt.
Oh.
I thought we were just going to start complaining about summer.
Oh.
You stop there?
Yeah, it's hot out.
We don't have a summer vacation anymore.
Yeah, we got to pay for air conditioning.
Yeah,
that's no
expensive.
Good. What's up with that?
Anyway.
That should be free. Where's that bill?
For our listeners in cooler climates.
You suck.
Good on you.
Oh, good on you.
I hope you're enjoying it. Appreciate it. And then this winter, we can try and appreciate our milder winter, but it is cold here too. So you know what? It's just, we get all of it in Missouri.
Misery?
We get it all. Missouri. Thank you very much.
Misery?
Don't hate on the state.
Don't hate on the state.
All
the
right,
state can
we
be
digress. Check out our website, mttpodcast.com. You may even be listening to us on that. We have articles and all sorts of fun things for you. And tell your friends about us because, the the more listeners we have, the more we can do.
That's true.
The more we can bring to you guys. So, adios. I mean, I don't know. Do you have something else to say?
Goodbye.